My name is Jennifer Copeland. I am the Executive Director of the North Carolina Council of Churches. In light of recent protests and rallies from some pastors and politicians in North Carolina calling for reopening our places of worship, the North Carolina Council of Churches states unequivocally that we do not believe now is the time for congregations to return to their sanctuaries. This is not a political issue. This is a theological matter. Right now, we love our neighbors best by keeping our distance from them. The ability of people of faith to praise God is not limited to sitting together in a sanctuary. We have proved this over the last several months. To claim this is a right is only to betray the political motivations behind the protests. When asymptomatic carriers of the coronavirus spend a lengthy period of time in one place, they will infect those around them. This is how worship works. We stay near each other in one place for an hour or more. If the asymptomatic person goes around hugging people, the setting is even more dangerous because lengthy exposure is compounded by close proximity. Many reputable scientists from leading research institutions have written about this and spoken about it. We know how the virus spreads. It spreads when time and proximity line up. Breathing the same air as a carrier for lengthy periods of time, like a worship service, is dangerous. Breathing the same air as a carrier for the time it takes to walk past this person in a retail establishment is not as dangerous. We have mastered the technology to broadcast our worship services. We have created care systems to support one another spiritually. We have developed educational opportunities to deepen our faith. All of this while staying home. For now, we need to continue loving our neighbors by keeping our distance from them. This virus, too, shall pass, but it hasn't passed us yet. Until it does, congregations should not congregate. It is the neighborly thing to do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isaac Villegas. I am the pastor of Chapel Hill Mennonite Fellowship, and I'm the president-elect of the North Carolina. My church won't be meeting for in-person worship this Sunday, or next Sunday, or the Sunday after that, because we love our neighbors, and we don't want to be part of spreading this deadly virus throughout our community. So I'm actually grateful for the governor's leadership during these chaotic and dangerous times. I'm grateful for his concern for the well-being of all of us, especially for our neighbors for whom this virus could mean their death. His concern for the most vulnerable in our community. I know that this is a difficult time. I feel the sacrifices that in my community that we're making for not being able to meet together and do the things that we love to do, to fellowship, to enjoy communion, to be with one another. And I know the suffering in our communities as well as people mourn the loss of people who've died, for our healthcare workers who are sacrificing so much to care for all of us, for all the essential employees that are keeping our society running. Grateful for them all. This is a time of solidarity, not selfishness. Because it's only through our solidarity, through our commitment to love our neighbors, to sacrifice our conveniences and comforts for their well-being, that we will be able to get through this crisis together. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Erin Maxfield Steele. I am priest at St. George's Episcopal Church and the Center for Art and Spirit in West Asheville here in North Carolina. I've been invited to talk with you a little bit today about my decision making around suspending in-person services at St. George's and shifting to online services for the foreseeable future during this pandemic. Some of my thinking comes really from the behavior of the early church, of the very early Christian movement. In Rome, the early church met in the catacombs, deep below the city surface. This was because to meet above surface, to meet in public, would have been life-threatening for that community. I think in some ways we're in a similar situation where we're trying to follow the lead of those who have gone before us, who have taught us to value wisdom, to seek God's guidance, and to show our faithfulness to God by caring for one another. My choice to close the doors to the part of the church that we call the sanctuary really is not motivated by fear. It's motivated by my love for the people of St. George's and by my faith that God is truly with us. That God is with us in the sanctuary that is our home, if we have the privilege of being housed, of having a place that is stable. That God is with us in this sanctuary of the world, and that God is in the sanctuaries of our hearts.
Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles with the Interfaith Clergy, standing for the community. I do understand the safety right now regarding of the COVID virus. I don't believe that churches need to be open right now because we still have to be able to clean the church and set a plan in place. Interfaith Clergy does have a plan in place to help sanitize the church, as well as getting masses, as well as having people to sit 6 feet away from each other. But if we open up the churches immediately right now, I truly believe that we're going to spread this virus more than they have been spread it now, because we have a lot of people that congregate in the church. Let's give it time. We do need to get to the place of worship, because the church is who we are. A facility is where we go to worship, and worship to come together as one. God bless and thank you.